Yo, it's Saturday, it's the weekend, time to party. Social Saturday chat. Social Saturday chat. Social Saturday chat. Social Saturday chat. Join the fun with Mac, Felipe, Lark, Joelle, Martha, Thurman, and Zion. You can bring your friends. Let's get to know each other. Never share and connect. Social Saturday chat. Social Saturday chat. Social Saturday chat. Social Saturday chat. Join the community. Share about your day, your business, or a fun fact. It's a chance to never share and connect. Social Saturday chat. Social Saturday chat. Social Saturday chat. Social Saturday chat.
Well, hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. It's another Social Saturday chat here. I'm here with my co-host, Martha. Joel and Mac are either in transit or already back in the UK taking care of some personal business. But Martha and I are here, and thank you for joining us. We are live from my page today, so it's a little bit different. So do me a favor and go ahead and share with your network where we're streaming from so they can catch the live session, because today's session, I think, is one that's much needed. It's one of those sessions that a lot of times we think we're doing all the right stuff, and then we realize, oh crap, I've been doing the wrong thing this whole time. And so today we're going to be talking about LinkedIn's do's and don'ts, the mistakes you keep making. But these aren't just the low-hanging fruit mistakes. These are more of the high-level issues. So we're going to tackle some of those. But before we do that, Martha, what are you doing on this lovely Saturday? And what's any fun facts this week?
Yeah,
And
this
please
Saturday.
introduce yourself too.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Hello, friends. Welcome to Social Saturday Chat. Thank you for joining us. Please leave a comment if you're new or if you want to connect with anyone new, or come on stage. We'll be sharing the link here shortly. For friends that don't know me, my name is Martha Lobo-Samaya. I am the founder of Connect Impact Hub. And what else? I am on a mission to end homelessness. And fun fact, I start school on Tuesday. I'm starting the health administration doctorate program on Tuesday. Last week, did orientation, set up the computer, and all the fun stuff you get to do right before you start school. So I'm really excited about that. So this weekend, I'm going to be applying for scholarships. So we'll see how this goes. Fingers crossed. But yeah, it's a sunny day here in California. I'll try to see if I can step outside in a few minutes here, because I love your background, by the way, Felipe. I wish I had a backyard like yours, but it's all good. I do have the beach right down the street.
Yeah, you win with the beach down the street, okay? I mean, I don't feel so bad for you that you don't have a backyard when you have the beach right there, because my beach is 3.5 hours away. So, well, listen, I'm going to put the link in the chat for you all to join us up here early on, because we want you all to ask some questions. But I do have my Food Base 5 that Martha and I are going to talk about. But before I forget, for those of you who have not had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Felipe Cofino. I'm an HR executive for 30 years. I'm a LinkedIn top voice, international best-selling children's book author that just went out in Spanish and is available on Amazon. And I am also a LinkedIn enthusiast who loves to co-host shows with people like Martha, Joel, and Mac and team, as well as my Workplace Wellness Hour with Samana Jetty, and Careers, Chaos, and Coaching with Melissa Houston, which tomorrow we are taking an Easter and spring break, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. But other than that, I am also the founder of Cofino Consulting, where I offer HR services, recruiting, training. Training is everything from active shooter training to performance management to interviews training, as well as making sure that I offer services to actually do recruitment or executive coaching. So if any of you have interest in that, feel free to check us out. It's all on my page. And I do want to say hello to some people who have joined us in the chat here. We have hello to Meryl Cass, who's always a master connector for all of us and communicator. Jackie Hallberg, great to see you. Leslie Flowers is in the house in North Carolina, who does great shows on Mondays and Fridays. We have Jane, who's in the house. We have Kenny. Kenny, it's great to see you. Kai, thank you for coming. Christy Williams is here. Thank you for being here, Christy. David Pushkin's in the house as well. Sumana Jetty's here. Holy cow, we got a whole. Chris is here. Who else am I missing? William Rochelle, Charles Phillips, Lisa Fevick. Clearly, you all did not have a problem finding us on a different page here. So I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you for being such an amazing community, because it was a very last minute change. So we appreciate you. And thank you for the comments of the dogs. Yes, the dogs are having fun playing in the back. It is 80 degrees today. The only fun fact I have is that this afternoon in the backyard, I don't know if you see the wood piled up that fell from the trees during the windstorm. We're gonna do a little fire pit tonight with my high school friends. I call them my 30-year plus friends that I knew since high school. They're coming with their kids. My kids gonna be here, and we're just gonna hang out, have fun, play some games, and probably drink. So let's be honest. All right, well, let's talk about today's topic, LinkedIn's do's and don'ts, because this is something I think is so important for us. I know I'm always learning. There are people out there like Richard Vanderbloom, who is always reaching out and doing research about the algorithm. There's people like Kevin D. Turner. If you're not following these two, follow them. They're always providing insights. They're sharing new features that are coming out. They're sharing updates faster than most people find them. But in addition to that, there's things that we learned about. Maybe, oh, I learned about that 2 years ago. Yeah, I know that I was supposed to do that. Well, that changed last month. And now it's different. And what you're doing isn't really helping like it used to. So I have here Felipe's 5 real quick that I'm going to share. And it's really about just how to really advance LinkedIn mistakes leaders make. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this fairly quickly. And Martha, I'm going to chime in with you on each one. But first and foremost, you can't be effective on LinkedIn without showing up. You all are showing up right now in the chat. Every one of you that have chatted, you are showing up. You are engaging. That's an example. The mistake people make is you're successful but invisible on LinkedIn. It's people who you may know that have a lot of success and are looking for new clients and looking to grow the business, but they are not visible on LinkedIn. They don't have an updated profile. They're not engaging. They're not attending events like you all. So obviously, an opportunity for someone that maybe hasn't been sharing any content, but they do want to because they have a business or they want to get clients or they want to get a job, is share your perspectives, your decisions, your lessons. Share what you know, because don't try to be somebody else, because they probably know it better than you do if you're trying to copy a topic that they're talking about. Talk about what you know best and do some more research on it to make sure that you're up to date on that topic and you're sharing relevant information. That's what's going to help you show up big time. That's where you are going to go from being seen to being seen, heard, and talked about. So if people can't see you, they can't connect with it. What are your thoughts on this one here, Martha? Oh, let me bring her.
Sorry, multitasking over here. Yes, I love what you just said. Be yourself. It's so interesting also that we're having this conversation, Felipe, because I did go and do a chat GPT. I do use that function, and I just said Martha Lobos Amaya's do's and don'ts, and it gave me some real feedback. So if you're listening, try it out and see what kind of feedback you get. But just be yourself. I mean, that's really what I got out of my I don't know if I froze. I hope I didn't. Yikes, I probably did. But yeah, just be yourself. I hope it's still recording.
All right. I am so sorry, you all. So apparently my laptop got overheated in the sun and turned off and shut down. So that is what happened there. So I didn't realize that it shut down for everybody. So I apologize for you all watching a blank screen for the last about 5 minutes. But Martha, you were saying that you had come up with some of your own.
You know what? I thought it was me, so I left. I was like,
Oh,
I
no.
didn't-
It was definitely me. It was definitely me.
Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you, friends, for being so patient with us.
Yes, thank you. We
Um,
appreciate that.
Yeah, so I'm on my phone now because I thought it was my computer because it was making noises here. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? What the heck? um, but yes, I was just sharing that type in your name, ChatGPT do's and don'ts if you're comfortable doing, and it's going to give you a if you've been posting on social media, it will pick up your name and it will give you your do's and don'ts. But overall, Felipe, what you just shared is just be yourself. I mean, that's really what I got out of my do's and don'ts. But also it did tell me, which is like don't share from emotions. And I tend to do that. So it was really nice to hear that from, AI. Don't share from your emotions. Like give some are you okay there?
I was running around, so now I was sweating from running around because
I'm
it
sorry.
overheated. So I'm good now.
Okay. Just making sure, brother. Just making sure.
Well, I love what you shared because I think that is something that, not only that, if you feel comfortable, put your LinkedIn link into ChatGPT and saying, hey, what are some things I could do to better optimize my LinkedIn profile? Give me some suggestions, or what are some do's and don'ts based on what I've talked about. It is something that I think it gives you some insight. Don't just take it holistically and start using it, but definitely see what it says. So I love that. All right, let's get on to the next ones here real quick. I'm going to use this hand here. All right, so the second one here is simply sounding too corporate. I've been told by Melissa Houston sometimes I sound too corporate. Even doing slides sounds too corporate. So it's great to be polished, but overly polished, generic press releases, posts, they look commercial. They look like they were created by ChatGPT or just standardized. So write like a human, not like a brand. Connect with people, not the corporate language. That's one of the reasons why people connect with human beings, pictures of humans, and they connect with those personal things that you share, because a logo doesn't do that. You can't connect with a logo on a human level. A logo doesn't share personal stories. So it's very hard to see that connection. Mentally, your brain's not going to see that as a relationship. But when you see a person's face and they share things about their work and their personal family, that actually does give you a chance to connect with them at that personal level, and they're more likely to follow you and understand what your brand's about. What are your thoughts here?
Oh, yes. I read a message earlier from Jay in a chat, social Saturday chat, and it's like how you present yourself at work, how you present yourself in public, it's who you are. So the consistency of that, all of it. Of course, with family, you're gonna behave, like with my son, I obviously behave as mom. Even though he thinks I'm his friend, I'm his mom, but I'm also his friend. But I try to remind him I'm your mom first.
Absolutely. That's a great point. All right. So let's continue on here because I want to get through these. So we're going to put the link in the chat here for y'all to come up and join us. All right. The third one here is not engaging back. This is probably the biggest mistake I think people have, is people actually took the time to comment on your post and you didn't even acknowledge it. Why would they ever want to engage with you again? I mean, honestly, there's a level of respect that some people took time to read your post that you created. They respected the time that you took, and they commented it. You could at least like it or respond to the comment, especially if they ask a question. But here's the other side. Don't make it all about you. Be part of someone else's conversation. Make sure that you are engaging in conversations. One of the best things you can do is be part of a thread on somebody else's post, because other people from their network are going to see you stand out, and they're more inclined to say, hey, let me go visit you. but people are so proud of their posts that they don't even reply to the comments, or they only reply to the comments on their posts. They never comment on anyone else's post. That's one of the biggest branding mistakes you can ever make. Engagement builds community, and community builds influence. So when you are engaging in your community, they're more likely to listen to you and be influenced by what you're sharing because they trust you and you've built that trust. What are your thoughts, Martha?
Well, I've been doing some don'ts because sometimes I forget to message people back. So I'm working on it, on that consistency part. But I mean, there's a lot, that comes with being on social media too. It's the posting, the being consistent. There's a time commitment that goes into all of this. And I know you'll touch base on that time commitment. But I tend to move with energy, and sometimes it doesn't work for everybody. And then it looks like, oh, she's not responding back. Like, what's going on? So yeah, can we talk about that too, Felipe?
Yeah, no, I think it's a really important part of the conversation because when it comes to the post, okay, the post I'm putting out in a certain time period, so I'm going to give those a little bit of priority sometimes. The DMs, I'm going to create times when I respond to my DMs.
It's the post.
What's that? What'd you say, Martha?
Responding back, like what's going on, Oh, sorry. No, I didn't say anything. I accidentally pushed the play button behind the
Okay,
scenes.
all right. So my point is that with the DMs, I sit down probably once or twice a week to respond back to DMs. They pop up on my phone. So if it's like an urgent one that I see, I can reply to it immediately. Otherwise, if I don't see them being urgent ones, they're just questions or, hey, let's get together or whatever, chat. I set time for that. That's where I think people have to respect that everyone has different times and other things going on in their life. But on a post, there's a short window that post lives on the platform. And what I always say is, ideally, within 24 hours, you want to check that post and respond to all the comments. And then you want to do it again in a day or two. And then one more time, maybe later on, because if you notice lately, one of the major changes on LinkedIn is that your post can live up to 3 or 4 weeks now. If you look at your feed, I have seen on a regular basis now people's posts that were 3 weeks old that I already liked, but because people were still engaging, LinkedIn's saying, hey, people are liking this. Let's keep on showing this as people like it. And so that post can live up to 3 weeks now versus those 1 or 2 days that it used to live. So that's the benefit of you commenting. I'll even strategically comment sometimes. I'll see someone commented it on a post that night. I'll wait until the next morning to reply back because in my mind, I'm thinking, and I don't know if this is accurate, you all. This is Felipe's crazy mind. I think, well, let me start the day off with a little bit of algorithm push by responding in the morning and hope that carries it throughout the day a little bit with other people seeing it. If I do it at night, people might be asleep. I don't know if that makes sense because no one understands the algorithm, but that's my logic. What are your thoughts, Martha? Well, actually, let's go to the next one. Did that answer your question, though, a little bit? Okay, good.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, the next one here is missing the opportunity to mentor publicly. All right, if you are somebody who's sharing insight, Martha shares about the unhoused. She is constantly sharing publicly and educating people about insights that help others grow. But keeping that knowledge to yourself, yeah, that's old school. That's what dinosaur, old business people used to think. Oh, don't share my secrets so that no one can copy me when what I'm doing. Guess what? People have a lot of the similar ideas as all of us. It's our little twist, our little flair, our own touch on how we deliver it that helps us stand out. So sharing your insights and sharing, like I said earlier, I can't stress enough, one of the wonderful things that I've learned from LinkedIn is they keep me checking on stuff and researching stuff because I want to make sure I'm sharing relevant information. I don't want to share stuff that worked 20 years ago because that's not going to help any of you all. So I'm encouraged to do my research so that I can share insights that are relevant and publicly useful. So teaching people publicly puts you as a leader that people can trust and follow, especially if what you're sharing is accurate and relevant. What are your thoughts, Martha?
Absolutely. It's, you know, if you're taking the time to educate yourself, share the knowledge. You know, if you're on other platforms, share the knowledge. People will be so appreciative, but also post where you're getting your knowledge from. People want to know the source. That's a huge one.
That's a great point. Whenever I mention stats, I always mention where those stats come from. Gallup is a big stats for me source because they do a lot of workplace and employment stats. And they also do stats about a lot of other stuff, you know, political, you know, just financial as well as athletic. But I use them as one of the major sources. There are other sources out there that are HR specific, which I value, but I use them to validate what Gallup's saying, basically. So, but when you have your original thoughts, to Martha's point, hey, I learned this when I was in the hotel industry. I learned this when I was in the banking industry. I learned this when I was in the nonprofit industry. And this is how we did things. And this is why I'm sharing it with you, because it worked. So it's those things. I can share people how I turned my children's book into an animated cartoon and also a coloring book. That might seem simple to me, but if people don't know how to do it, I'm happy to share. Those are the little things that you think everyone already knows because you figured it out. Not everyone knows that. So share publicly. All right, last one here, y'all. And then I put the link in the chat for y'all to join us on stage. And I see that we have some people already in the green room. All right, so the last one here is treating LinkedIn like a resume. Big mistake. Static profile, no voice, no activity. You're a piece of paper. You might as well be a blank piece of paper almost. Instead, use LinkedIn as a living platform. I just spoke to a recruiter, and this was last week, because you all know that I'm actively searching. I've been interviewing, and I've have multiple recruiters that I have working for me right now, looking for opportunities. And when I was talking to one of them, I was saying, hey, what do you think of my resume? He's like, you want my honest answer? I'm like, well, yeah. He's like, I don't look at the resumes. Like, what? Like, I send the resumes over to the hiring manager that's interviewing them after I've selected the candidates. I only look at the profile, the LinkedIn profile, 100%. That's not as common as you would think, or as it could be, but it's starting to become more common. That resume is just a good resource to verify what you have on LinkedIn, where before LinkedIn was a resource to verify the resume. And so I think what's happening is people are realizing people are sharing a lot more, and you can learn a lot more about them on LinkedIn. So use LinkedIn as a living platform, which that means update it regularly. I just updated my banner. I just updated my experience section. I just updated keywords because I found out that I had a keyword I wasn't using for my job search. Your brand isn't what you did. It's what you share consistently and what you want to be known for in the future. It's not what you were known for in the past, maybe in the foundation of the brand, but what are you doing today to keep it relevant? Martha, thoughts before we bring people up?
Yeah, just be consistent. Sorry, you guys. I don't know why my camera is so close up now.
You look great.
I don't like it. It's too close.
Put it sideways.
Oh,
There you
no,
go.
that's
No, sideways just works. Watch.
really.
Wait, hold on. There.
Oh gosh, now I can't see myself. But okay, as long as you guys could see me.
Oh yeah, we see you perfectly.
Okay, good. Yeah, my thoughts is treat it like a resume. Yes, absolutely. Just know that people are watching. Unexpectedly, there are, whether it's on your education and your past employment, you just never know who's watching you. So just be consistent, be yourself. I think that's just really overall my takeaway, Felipe, is just be you.
Yeah.
And don't be emotional. Okay, don't do that.
Show you have emotional intelligence by how you've handled things. You know, that's what they need to know. When they're going to hire you as a client, or you want them to be a client, or you want a job with them. They need to know that you're going to handle things well when things go sideways, because guess what? Things always go sideways at some point. There's always some kind of error or mistake that you have to navigate through. So if you're going to freak out every time, not a great thing to show. All right.
Yeah.
So the last thing I was going to share here before I bring up our guest here was just a reminder that when you have seen, join the conversation with, I wrote that, was that right? Which one of these that we shared have you experienced yourself? Let's talk about it. Come on stage, because real growth starts with awareness and conversation. So with that being said, I'm going to bring over our guest here. Oh, oopsie.
Wow. Hello, friends. Oh, now we can't hear you, Felipe.
All right, I'll say we have David Pushkin, Gregory Liverpool. We have Bill Rochelle and somebody whose name I cannot see.
It's Omar.
Oh, that's Omar. Okay. Oh, Zoom party. Okay, that's why I wasn't sure. All right. Well,
I needed to wait for Martha to announce me. That's why.
Oh, I see. All right. And yes, Omar, I did get your message. I will RSVP to the event Father's Day. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Well, listen, we shared a lot about this stuff here on LinkedIn. Martha, I'm going to hand it to you to share any other thoughts you wanted to share, and then you can start introducing with David, and we'll go along that route.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, friends, for joining us. I do see a couple comments coming through. Jane said, I checked prospective candidates. Chat is going fast, and I'm moving slow over here. But we'll show the comments too. And where is it? Candidates LinkedIn profile activity. Good job, Jane. So Jane said she's checking people on LinkedIn, their profiles, their activity. Then also Gregory mentioned having good newsletters. That's a really good idea too. I'm going to go ahead and welcome David Pushkin, because that's the first person I seen come on stage. David, welcome.
Hello, and happy Saturday, everybody. This is a very interesting topic. A couple of quick do's and don'ts myself. That's really great reflection overall. I mean, a couple of do's. Do be active. Do promote people. Do make your posts accessible. I've talked about it a couple of times. Please use alt text. Please don't use lots of emojis. Screen readers hate it. Just and be authentic, as Felipe was talking about. It's not a polished, pitch perfect life. Show the real you. Couple of don'ts. It's almost like if you don't like what's on the TV, turn the TV off. If you're on somebody's, post and you start getting into a firefight and saying, I don't like this, as Felipe was just making mention of, employers and people see things. If they see you acting almost like inappropriate or like a fool on LinkedIn, they're not really going to want to employ you. Also, don't put 900 people in a post and start tagging loads of people just for the sake of posting or tagging people. Be strategic with it. But like I said, this is a great platform. It's great for encouragement. It's great for promoting people, support people, share things. This is what the network is for. Show people, highlight people, promote people, do it in a respectful way. I'll yield the mic there. Stay encouraged. Keep being awesome. Let's go Social Saturday Chat. I'll yield the mic there.
Thank you, David, so much for sharing also the tagging part. I know this conversation came up recently for me as far as tagging. Felipe, I know we have this question also in the comments as well. And then the emojis that we put in our content. I'm being a little bit more careful since you mentioned that, David, and I really appreciate you bringing that up. Could you share a little bit the reasoning so folks can understand how that affects someone that may be reading the content, having too many emojis in the post?
Yeah. So like those who are using screen readers, it literally reads the emoji. So imagine that you now read a post and it goes down arrow, down arrow, down arrow, down arrow, down arrow, down arrow, smiley face, smiley face, smiley face, smiley face, smiley face, smiley face. That's literally what the screen reader's doing. Imagine how annoying that would be if somebody was just looking at you and you're in a conversation and they're going, Martha, 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 Martha. That's literally what the screen reader does. So keep it, keep it to very limited, because it's effectively reading. The screen reader reads everything on the screen. So it will tell you every single emoji. So that can be a little bit frustrating and a little bit annoying. So, keep it short, you know, you'll get more attention that way. It can be a little bit annoying, but yeah, in principle, that's why you shouldn't do that.
Can I ask you to record you saying Martha, 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 and then Martha have that as her phone ring when you call her? Because I think that'd be hysterical. Martha, 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 Martha.
You know what? I was just going to say, like, I may sound annoying sometimes, okay? I can admit that. I know.
I didn't say you sound annoying, but that would be a funny ringtone to have someone just constantly
I know
yelling
what
your
you
name.
mean, Felipe. I know what you mean. That's
David, I gotta say also, thank you for sharing that, because I've learned so much from you. I used to be the excessive emoji user. I try to limit my emojis to 3 now because of you. And I usually try to use them when I'm listing items. Is that still annoying if I use one emoji as like a bullet point?
No.
Okay.
If you're using what?
Yeah, but if it's multiple in a row, that's going to be really, I can see how that, I never thought about that. And also tagging people. You brought up tagging people. That's a huge point, because guess what, you all? When you tag someone and that person doesn't like your post, the algorithm does not like it. It makes it seem like you're spamming them. So it might be suppressing if you're over tagging people. I mean, if I tag Ryan Reynolds is another top voice. I'm a top voice. He should respond to my bullshit. He's not going to respond to my post. I don't care how much I try. Tagging him is not going to work. So make sure you're tagging the right people and give them a heads up. Hey, I'm going to do a post about this. Is it okay if I tag you? Most people say yes, but some people are private and don't want to be tagged. So, I think that's an important message, but also know it can hurt your algorithm. All right. Well, we've got a full stage, so let's go on to Gregory Liverpool. Gregory, if you could keep it to 2 minutes, we appreciate it. But what are your thoughts about LinkedIn and all the do's and don'ts? Over to you.
Hey, it's a NASCAR-like social Saturday chat. We're trading paint, basically, literally and figuratively. If you get the reference, watch Daytona. In regards to your Felipe 5, I agree with number 5, but the thing is that type of activity has to be both ways in terms of job seeker candidate and recruiter. And here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, LinkedIn is a foreign entity or a foreign universe in regards to being engaging on the social media platform. It was not talked about it at all in a career advancement or a career type of seminar by my HR association here in Canada, CPHR Manitoba. One thing I would have to agree to disagree is point number 3, which is the engagement thing. As a person who is neurodiverse, and I could only speak for myself, I'm not going to speak for other people who are neurodiverse around here, which is basically Joel in the comments per se. I need, and if you want to engage with me, at me. In terms of, I'll basically put it in this juncture. If you see me at a sporting event and I'm basically going 5K, 7K an hour in terms of walking and stuff, and if you want to get my attention, you can basically lightly hit me. That's my type of engagement face to face in regards to that nature. Hence, that's like kind of like my type of engagement formula in regards on LinkedIn, because if I put out like a whole whack of posts for the last couple of weeks per se, probably around 5 to 7, maybe 9 today, this past week, and if you want to engage with me and stuff, at me, and I will see your comment in plain view and plain order of that nature. That's why this platform has adopted the @ symbol for people to see it in your mentions section on your on this lovely app that we have here in terms of communications and stuff. So that's my little soliloquy here in a sunny Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And I will say, in terms of those, in regards to the do's and don'ts, in terms of your Felipe 5 soliloquy and testaments on high, in terms of on this lovely Easter long weekend, if you celebrate. So.
Well, and Gregory, thank you for sharing that. One thing is, you said the number 3, you agree to disagree, but I didn't say that you shouldn't tag people in the post when you're replying back. If anything, I encourage, if you're going to comment on someone's post, absolutely tag them. I think that's absolutely appropriate.
Okay.
But my thing about number 3 was when people comment, not responding to that comment so if someone tagged you and said, "Hey, Gregory, that's a great thing. Where did you learn that from?" Or, "Hey, how often do you come across that?" and you don't respond to that comment, that's what I'm referring to.
Okay. Because I see, because on my posts, people put comments that on there, and I don't see it, and I feel I'm basically failing. It's a failure to engage with that person in that quick manner, per se.
What I would say is, it's your LinkedIn profile. It's up to you to check on it. It's not up to people to notify you, because they're responding to your post. And so since you put that out there, you got to check to see who's responding to it, because it's yours. The obligation is not on them to tag you necessarily, because some people aren't taggers. They won't. They don't want to do it, or some people just aren't comfortable doing it. But responding, that's one of the things where if you just check it once a day, you'll see. And you're not doing that many posts on LinkedIn. It's not like you have on Instagram 5 posts you have to manage. It's 1. So, Martha, thoughts?
Yeah,
and introduce the next person, please. Too.
Yes. So talking about tagging, I used to go a little haywired with it, but I stopped. I stopped doing that. And then I also noticed that when I wanted to tag someone, they had, for some reason, turned off that function to stop being tagged. And so then I learned during that process that there is a way for you to get your name turned off so that you're not tagged and you're not getting all these messages. But yeah, I do like that Jane brought that up, the courtesy of, the etiquette part that comes with tagging. Now, we can have a long conversation about this, but I'm going to go over to our next guest. Bill, welcome, brother. Great to see you.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
So I have several different things that I've done wrong. The first thing about tagging is I didn't realize that my mentions were off, and I don't know if you guys recognize that. And when I turned it on 3 years later, I recognized that I was being mentioned 100 times a day and had no clue, and people thought I was rude. So there is a setting that shows you every time you've been mentioned. The other part that I want to bring up is being cognizant of respect for others. And I have a live platform, and for those that I love, I joke sometimes, and that those jokes can be misinterpreted, especially for their brand. And I think that is something that I was just recently made aware of, and that I need to pay more attention to. That's it.
That's it. Felipe, I do have something, to share about this, because it's almost like molding us into, I don't want to say someone we're not. So please leave in the comments, friends. What are your thoughts? Thank you, Bill, for bringing this up because we want to be, courteous of others. But what about how we represent ourselves on these platforms?
Well, the problem is it's a business platform, and someone is conscious. Some people are conscious of their brand,
Mhm.
and we're all looking for jobs, right? And so I can say something as a joke, and it reflect poorly on someone who's looking for a job, and that is an unintentional,
Yeah,
but it's
let
wrong.
me give an example. I think I understand what
Okay.
Bill is trying to say. So
Yeah,
I
I
I had a no, I think it's more about making sure that you know what to talk about someone in the right setting. So I'll give you an example. My CEO, one of my old CEOs, and he and I used to joke, and we used to give each other crap all the time. Um, After a while, he got a little bit too comfortable, and he would say like silly kind of like things to me, and he put me down a little bit, which I knew was joking, but he did it in front of other people and the staff and the employees.
Yeah.
And after a while, I was like, you know what, do me a favor. I was like, in private, among the other senior leaders, bust my chops all you want. But the employees, they don't know that you're joking all the time, and they might think that you think less of me. So I don't want that to be the perception. So I think it's one of those things where, Martha, you and I can joke about stuff, but I'm not going to joke about everything I joke with you on private here on the live per se. So I think
Right.
I think that it's that example of just being aware. It's not, people make mistakes, and then that happens, and that's life. But I think that goes to the etiquette question that Jane mentioned, is you have to have etiquette. That's why I think it's important when we have our shows, we talk about, hey, come up here, be respectful, share, keep your shares, a little bit to 2 minutes or so that other people can share. We create these boundaries because it's the etiquette of respect that we're trying to create. Now, people come up here sometimes, and I've had especially on the audio shows, they would unmic and just start cussing and yelling and screaming, and it's like, you know what, that's clearly not proper etiquette. But think of it as a professional thing. This is the professional platform. We have fun, we joke about each other, we have fun. But how far are you taking that? And is it becoming unprofessional? Is it becoming questionable? That's the other thing. Is it questionable? If people are questioning if you're joking, then you probably shouldn't do it. If
Right.
people are questioning if that's ethical or that's the other thing. You might joke about something like, oh, I didn't realize that he thought that way. And they now believe that you are someone who believes in this, that's negative. So it's an easy trap to fall into, but I think once you get to know the person, it's not an issue. It's the people that don't know you that could have that perception. So that was a great point you
Absolutely.
brought up there. Thank you for bringing that up, Bill.
Yes, absolutely. And I think with LinkedIn and the networking, we are so close. I feel that we're so close that sometimes we don't recognize those boundaries.
Absolutely, and it's easy to forget when we get close to people.
Yeah.
And Jane's point here, she's very intentional and conscious of how she moves and who she associates with. That's the other part. It's very exciting when you meet a new person and you connect with somebody and you're like, oh my God, this is great, I love it. But do your research. Look at what they've been posting about. If they're posting and saying things like, dogs are worthless, dogs should be kept outside, dogs are not, family, I don't necessarily agree with that, and I don't know if I want to associate with that person necessarily. You know how much I love my dogs. So I think it's good to do research to make sure that what their platform and what they're talking about is not in contrast with you. Because if you start liking their posts and you don't even know what they're writing, because don't lie, some of you all do that. You all just see someone's face and you just hit like, and you don't read it. Be careful, because if they're not talking about something that you agree with, the perceptions of everybody else is that, oh, well, Felipe agrees with it, Martha agrees with it because they liked it. So that's an excellent point, Jane. All right. Our next guest here is none other than Omar, the game master, the Zoom party expert. It is so excited to have you. I can't wait to be on your show. The more I watch the show, the more I'm impressed at how much work you put into your shows.
Thank you.
I mean, if you have not been to one of his shows and seen, the man puts on like a legit game show, hands-on. I mean, if you are watching it, like you're in the audience, you're like, wait, I know the answer. I know the answer. And like, no, they're dumb. They don't know. I can do better. You know, you get pulled into it. So thank you for doing that for everyone. If you haven't checked it out, please check out Omar. But please tell us your thoughts about LinkedIn's do's and don'ts.
Absolutely. No, first of all, thank you, Felipe, for that. And thank you, Martha and Bill and Gregory, anybody else watching. And yeah, this is a very important topic in terms of LinkedIn news and notes. I think in the beginning, 3-4 years ago, when we got really big, and when I say big, more than 500 to 1,000 followers, right, on there. I mean, I've had LinkedIn for 10 years or more in college and all that. But then in the beginning, what we would all do is connect with everybody. Oh, like I got on Don Cohen's show, watched him. That guest, I connected with them. In the beginning, we would be like click happy, right? Click everybody and just want to be friends with anybody. And then you get blocked, right? In the beginning, you get blocked from those people in the beginning. They don't know who you are. You know them. You're so excited. Oh, I met a new person. And then as time goes on, you realize who are your close friends kind of thing. Me, I'm being a cheerful person. I like people. And so when you get that disappointment or no, you're like, what? What happened? You know, kind of thing. And then you realize as you get older in LinkedIn years, 4 or 5 years, you're like, oh, those are the close friends, those are not. But still, part of you is like, why does he not want me? You know, kind of thing. But you gotta realize that that's not that important. And oh, hi, I see Elizabeth there, a good friend, Elizabeth, and we reconnected again. Thank you for being there, and Jane as well. She's awesome. And so yeah, so those are the things that I've noticed in the years. So you have to let go of not the important people. Otherwise, if you don't care about being blocked or being said no or being sad about that, that's okay. You know, do that then. But it's up to you. You know, you just have to have that mannerism in terms of that. What do you guys think?
No, I totally agree with you, and I think it's wonderful that you brought that up because, it is I love when you said LinkedIn years, because I do think that there is a number of years that before you start understanding, okay, I'm not, I'm more mature about how I understand it and how I do it, and so I think it's important for us to respect that, and I think, those connections. Someone made a comment earlier about connections. One of the reasons why I had so many connections early on was because as a recruiter, I would reach out to candidates that I thought had experience, and I would engage with them before I had an opening. I built a community of candidates that might be potential employees in the future, but I didn't go after them that way. I actually built relationships with them. And so these people now, maybe they've changed industries, but I still know them. That kind of relationship is something that it's a big pool, because you're not looking at just one industry. You're looking at candidates from multiple industries that you can build a relationship with. Your topic, Omar, having fun, game night, joining together, building community, that goes over and crosses over multiple industries as well. So it's good to have a niche in what you do, but when you have it and you're open to helping and offering it to multiple people across different areas and interests, that's where you can really meet fascinating people and really get to build a community that's worthwhile. So I applaud you for that so much and how well you do it. I think that the growth is, the other thing you mentioned, has been organic. That's what you want. I know people that have, I hear people all the time saying, oh, LinkedIn's doing to clear out bots. They put out a message that, oh, you might see your followers go down. And I hear people say, oh, they lost like 5,000 followers. I have not. I think I may have lost like a couple, but I've never lost more than 100 when they did that, because I'm actually connecting with people and I look at who I'm connecting with. The blind connect to everybody, that's not a strategy. That's a big don't, y'all. Don't do that, please. Because that is, I know you're trying to get your numbers up, but you got to do it with intention, like Jane mentioned. Martha, what are your thoughts?
I agree with intentions of connecting with folks. online, but I connect with different folks from all walks of life. So my way of thinking may not be the way of others may think. I'm very open, and I like to get to know people before I don't connect. So I'm more of the curious person, and I think curiosity is good. So of course I'm intentional, but I'm also very curious in getting to know people.
If you don't mind, I can just want to comment a bit. Yeah,
Yes.
so I think now what I'm doing is when people comment on a post or I'm in one of the streams and then I connect with them. Oh, I saw you on this show or that kind of thing, and then they connect with you. Where in the beginning, you just connect with anybody who's been on any shows because you just want to experience what's going on here. And now you realize what it is. You're kind of like this kid in the candy store, like, oh, all these little things coming in and all these wonderful people. And I've always been a social person ever since I was a kid, you know. And so that's what it's like. Why, kind of thing. So that's the point that people should make in terms of realizing what you said. Who are the people that you really connect with and have that connection with, rather than just everybody, just the tiny people that are in there. Like somebody told me, I have 30,000 followers. Find 5 from my list and tell me who you want to connect with, so you can be with them. But it's hard to tell, other connection from 30,000 people. Who's interested in game shows and podcasting? Okay, who likes these shows? That's the point. So thank you again, guys. Keep it up. I love what you're doing.
Thank you, Omar. And I will say that I think that anytime that someone sends me a connection request, I don't just accept it blindly. I do look at their profile. I try to, especially if they didn't send me a message explaining why they wanted to connect with me, I try to see what in their profile might resonate with me. If I find something that resonates with me, I'm happy to connect. If I don't see any connection, any reason, I'll send them back a message saying, hey, what was it about my profile that resonated with you that you're looking to connect? If they don't respond, I don't accept. And I think that's fair because, you want to give people, you want to see a reason. Don't follow me or connect with me just because you want to add me to a list. I want to be connected with you because you see something that is relevant. And that to me is meaningful. So one other do is go through and disconnect with your inactive accounts. That's something that is a good practice. I go through once a month and I'll just sit down, maybe a glass of wine or a Coke or whatever, and I'll go through my connections. And if I've been connected with them for a while and they're still like under 100 connections, they haven't posted anything in 2 years, I'm sorry, I'm disconnecting you. Because I've been connected with you for 4 years and you haven't done anything in 4 years. That's me. I don't see any value because I'm never going to be able to reach you, and so that's why it's important to have your profile look active and at least comment or like on things so that when people look at your page, it looks like you visit it sometimes. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Martha to share any of the final thoughts and then introduce Jay.
Yeah, thank you so much, Felipe, for sharing that. I also have been seeing too with some connections is that they'll have like thousands of followers, but they won't post.
Martha, you're coming in a little chopped up a little bit, I think. Is it just me?
It's probably
No, she's chopped up.
Is that better?
A little bit.
Oh man, I know it's my phone. I don't know why it's always like this in the mornings here. Okay, I think we're okay. So I do have connections that will.
You're still coming in chopped up, Martha. I'm sorry.
Man, it's okay. I'll come back.
All right. Well, while she's fixing that, Jay, why don't you go ahead and tell us your thoughts about do's and don'ts?
Hi guys, it's good to be here. Yeah, I think this is really important because the do's and don'ts on LinkedIn, they just don't happen on LinkedIn. They can happen on any social media platform. And I also think that when you're using LinkedIn, it's also a matter of trust, and the same thing goes for connections. And one thing that I like what Felipe said is that, when you're connecting with someone, you want to know what is it about, what is it that made them want to connect with you. Is there something they liked about you, or are you connecting just for the fun of it? But the thing is that when you're connecting, when you are making the connections, you want to there certainly should be like a note saying that hi Jay, I like the way that you advocating uh, for patients with disabilities. I'm interested in connecting with you. That's the reason you wanna. That's the reason why people want to connect. If they're just connecting, just then there's no point. And also, as far as don'ts go, don't don't put anything on your LinkedIn profile that will um, divide the conversation. The conversation should be fun, interesting, and something you can relate with. Um, and yeah, I don't have much to say on that, but thank you.
Well, Jay, I love what you shared there. I think you brought up a good point there with the messaging. But before I go to that, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit about the last point you made, because I think that there is an opportunity for people. And remind me about the last point you made again right now. I'm sorry. The last point you made was
Yeah, I was just mentioning that, like try not to bring up issues that will divide
yeah.
the conversation. You
And,
want
and
to,
I think sometimes the right issues can be a healthy discussion. It's the ones like to your point, don't bring up politics and religion into these kind of conversations, because those are not healthy discussions. But having a healthy debates, so that's where I think you're absolutely right. There are certain items that are on the do not list. Don't talk about list. But some controversy is okay as long as it's respectful. Like it's like someone saying DC versus Marvel or Star Wars versus Star Trek. We can have those conversations without getting nasty, right? So I love that you shared that. And I do think that there's so much opportunity for people to connect. Those DMs that he mentioned, when you send a personalized invite telling somebody why you want to connect, one of the don'ts is don't send that message that everyone likes to send. Hey, you and I have a lot of similar things that we both are passionate about. Love to connect with you. Okay, you have a lot of similar things. What? Give me a specific. Tell me, is it dogs? Is it Star Wars? Is it HR? Is it children's books? Is it live streaming? Is it LinkedIn? There's so many things you could choose from. Give me something. Throw me a bone. Is it training? Is it whatever? But or just saying, oh, love to add you to my network. Okay, you know what? I'm not a notch on your bedpost. I am not a little ticked and mark on your list of check off. I got another person. No, I don't want to just be added to your network. Jay, go ahead.
I just remember one more thing I want to mention is that when you're commenting or creating a post, you want to make sure that how you write the post or comment is very important, because it's like when you're in the workplace, right? How you act and how you talk really matters. So that's really essential when you're on LinkedIn. Is professionalism is number one key. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And
I,
I
I,
know
I have a question
sure.
about do's and don'ts. So on live streams, I have an issue with people promoting themselves in the comments on my live stream. Is that a do or a don't?
That's a great question there. So I'll give you an example. Here, we are a networking show today. We encourage people to put links to things that they're doing here because we want people to network and learn about each other. My other shows, we have a boundary and we tell them, please don't do that, because that is hijacking the show.
Yeah.
And that is not professional. I usually will delete those people off the comment if they do that on my show, because to me, that is, unless I ask them, hey, that sounds really interesting what you're doing, do me a favor, put the link in the comments.
Right.
The host invites you to do that, absolutely. But unless the host invites you to do that, that's a big no-no. You don't
Okay.
hijack someone. Don't promote your show in the comments. If you come up on stage and they ask you to promote it, absolutely. Here is a place where we ask you to promote yourself. But not most shows don't do that because it is hijacking. So I'm glad you brought that up.
So I'm not just being Bill.
No, you're not just being Bill. No. All right. And then, all right. Kenny's being funny about throwing me bones. Okay. So Martha, I think, is definitely having issues. Oh, wait. There she is. Okay. So Martha is back. So we can do the, oh, wait. Let's try again. Martha is back. There she is. Okay. So listen, this has been such a valuable show. I appreciate everyone's shares. You brought up some great examples of etiquette, about do's and don'ts. It was, I think, a conversation that's well needed and needed every once in a while because things do change and etiquette changes too. Think about it. What our parents used to say back in their day, we would never say today. Okay, so think about how etiquette does change. So keep up on these things. Make sure that you are being professional because LinkedIn is the most professional, and then have fun. That's the thing. If you come in blaring with all the fun and you're never professional, that's more of other platforms model. That's, TikTok, Instagram, no shame, but that's how they built their model. This one here about community, professionalism, and fun. And we do have fun here. I mean, Omar is the king of fun. So, Martha, any last words you want to share?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Felipe, and thank you, friends, again, for your patience with my tech here. So just be kind, courteous to one another. The importance of that. We really can't see people behind these screens. We don't know what they're going through. A comment may be very hurtful to someone, so be very courteous with your words. If you can't seem to express yourself well in the comments, send a message. Just be very kind. That would be my only last couple words that I wanted to share. Lead with kindness. Thank you, Felipe, and thank you, friends, for joining us.
Well, those are great last words, and my last words will be this, is that if you're in doubt, I don't want people to overthink what you post and what you comment. If you're spending 10 minutes on what you're writing and you're not sure if you should send it, you're spending too much time. So what I'm saying is write it out. And if you are questioning, God, is this kind of iffy? Send it to a good friend. I send things to Melissa Houston and Samana sometimes and Mac, and I'll be like, hey, does this sound like it might be a little bit touchy? And like, no, it sounds fine. Or like, yeah, take out that word. That people could take that wrong. And so ask a friend. It never hurts. And I think that's a good thing to remember. So, hey, I hope you all had a lot of good takeaways today. Please let me know in the chat what was your favorite takeaway that you had today, and share with your friends in your network. This is an example of you learned something. Now you can share it. If you want to put out content, share what you learned today. And that's a great way of passing on that knowledge as you learn. That's what I did. That's what Martha's done. That's what Mac's done. And it's how we've grown our community and our brand. So we will be back next Saturday, probably on the homepage of Social Saturday Chat. And we'll be back with Mac and Joel and team. And we appreciate all of you all being here with us. We hope you have a great rest of your Saturday. And if you're not following Social Saturday Chat, do me a favor. Give us a follow on our LinkedIn homepage and hit that little bell in the top right-hand corner so you get notified of all the events the co-hosts do. And then if you want to check out some of our past episodes, go to your favorite podcast, Google, Spotify, even YouTube, and you can check out some of our past episodes where we've had amazing guests that we've interviewed. We've tackled some really challenging topics, and we've had amazing network events. So thank you again for being part of this community and just making it so special. We appreciate you all and hope you have a great rest of your Saturday. Adios, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Ciao.
Adios.
Hey, yo, it's Saturday, it's the weekend, time to party. Social Saturday Chat. Social Saturday Chat. Social Saturday Chat. Social Saturday Chat. Join the fun with Mac, Felipe, Lark, Joelle, Martha, Thurman, and Zion. You can bring your friends. Let's get to know each other. Network, share, and connect. community.